Hi, my name is Brian Seiz. I'm a 1992 graduate of Granite City High School, and I'm currently president of the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy here in St. Louis. My experience growing up in Granite City is I had a great time growing up in Granite City. When I reflect back on my time, what I always think about is my friends. Sunset to sundown, we were out and about, and what we always used to do is figure out what we wanted to do for the day, and then we ended up at different people's houses. So for me, it was about a good group of friends who hung out together all the time. And then my parents live in Granite City, and they still live there today. They've been in the same house for 50 years, and for them, it was about the community they established, and it was about having a good group of friends and neighbors who could take care of one another. You know, when I was younger and first started playing sports, it was all about fun. That's what I remember. It's when you got together with your friends. We weren't as competitive. I think of now with my kids, and we're flying to California to play lacrosse and going to Las Vegas to play other sports. But for me, when I was growing up, it was just all about fun, and then starting to get to know some of the basics around teamwork and around working together and things like that. So that was sort of my middle school experience. When I started to get to high school, then it got a little more serious for me, and I was a cross-country runner, and I run track, and that's where you had to start to learn the discipline side of things. And so sports for me was fun growing up. It was still fun when I got to high school, but it really built in me the discipline of understanding what I had to get done and being able to balance everything. This institution has been a part of my life for almost half of it. Is I started right out of high school. I came to the St. Louis College of Pharmacy, which is, we sort of added a bunch of degrees a few years ago and it became UHSP, but I started out at the St. Louis College of Pharmacy, and I went to school here and had a great time. This is where I met my wife, who's also a graduate of St. Louis College of Pharmacy. And then I had an opportunity. I went away for a year and did some advanced training, and I came back and ended up teaching here. So if I think about it, sort of the first 12 years out of high school, I was spent around this organization. So when the opportunity came up and they needed somebody to step in and be president, they reached out and asked, and it was an easy yes for me.
So where did your love for healthcare and pharmacy begin?
Yeah, for me, it was interesting. It happened at Granite City High School, and I remember to this day, it was, I don't remember what class it was, but it's where you had people come in and sort of share information around their jobs. And I remember the local pharmacist came in and gave a talk, and it was interesting to me. And I still remember the pharmacist's name from back in high school. It was Stephen Burge. He ran a little medicine shop there in town. And so after that, I sort of reached out to him and learned a little bit more about the profession. And then what I thought I'd do is I would get a job. So I went to work at the time, it was it was St. Elizabeth's Hospital. I think it's now Gateway, but I worked at St. Elizabeth's Hospital through high school. And that's where I really got the foundation for saying, hey, I know what the pharmacists do sort of in retail, and I know what the pharmacists do in the hospital area. And it really built my passion for what I could do, understanding drugs and the impact drugs could have on the quality of people's lives.
Talk to me about your role here as UHSP as the president and what you enjoy most about your job.
Yeah, so if I think about it, St. Louis College of Pharmacy and now UHSP has been around for 160 years. We had our 160-year anniversary last year, and I view it as my job is to make sure that the institution is around for the next 160 years. And that's the way I think of it. So a lot of my time and energy is spent on making sure we're taking care of our students, making sure we're putting great pharmacists and other health professionals, out in the world, making sure we're training them properly. It's also engaging our faculty and our staff to make sure they have the resources to do their job. It's around engaging our alumni to make sure that we keep the connection with the institution, that we stay connected with them, and we continue to grow as an organization. What I enjoy the most is interacting with our students. That, at the end of the day, is what it's all about. I loved it when I taught here, and I missed that when I went to the corporate world. We sort of have a saying around here that we're not a big school. We're, got 650 kids, and we want to know the students by name and by story. that's what keeps me coming back day in and day out. It's that interactions with the students and a little bit of keeping me young, I would say. And that's a lot different than when in the corporate world, when you were driving towards other sort of outcomes. I love going back and making it all about the students. It's important for me to be out, and if I'm out and I'm understanding what our students are going through, if I'm understanding what the needs of our faculty and our staff are, that puts me in a better job to deliver those things and to make sure that our team has what is needed to be able to take care of our students.
What advice would you have to a student in Granite City who wants to work in education, pharmacy, or just maybe an advice you might have to them?
Yeah, so for me, it starts with understanding what you're passionate about. And I always tell my kids the same thing is, yeah, you can have goals around a job that is going to make a lot of money or, do certain things. But in my mind, it starts with what are you passionate about? You're going to have to get up every day for the next, 30 to 50 years to do this job. So for me, it starts with finding out what you're passionate about and understanding it. Once you know what you're passionate about, the other thing that helped me out that I try to tell people is get good mentors out there. Understand what is happening. Learn from others who are in the fields and who've made mistakes that you can avoid by doing that. And so from my standpoint, you got to be passionate about it. You've got to then get mentors and learn about it. And then the other philosophy I have is you've got to raise your hand for those tough assignments.